A lot of people don't realize that the journey to being your best self isn't just about goal setting. It isn't about achieving your dreams. And yes, that's amazing, but self is something so much deeper than that. I mean, my journey of self has evolved and continually evolves. And I mean, it started with figuring out the difference between self-esteem and self-confidence. A lot of people don't know that when I was growing up, I was the most bullied and picked on kid in my entire school. I mean, like, I had no friends at all growing up until high school, really, until I had a kind of a change of schools. But I was an early meditator. I started meditating when I was 3 years old, and I had a concept of who I was in relation to the rest of the world, in relation to other people, events, different things. And I think growing up, my sense of my world and who I was and what my existence meant was really about, you know, I have my friends and family, which, well, I didn't have friends, but I had cousins, thankfully, lots of them. And I had my family, and I had all the activities, and I had school, and I had the books that I read, and I had my relationship with the universe, or whatever you want to call it, my sense of the world around me through meditation. And really, that summed up who I was. I could identify who I was completely based on those few things: school, family, my relationship with my cousins, you know, my activities, my skill sets, and the books that I read. That was who I was. To a degree, I think we all cherish those days when we could look at our life in a few different baskets and think about how simple things were. But self goes beyond that. It's not just how you categorize your life. It's not just self-esteem and self-confidence, as I briefly touched on before. It is who you really are. And who are you really when you start out your life? Are you the son or daughter of your parent? Are you a student? Are you someone who grew up in a certain neighborhood? Are you a person of color? Are you a gender? Are you a nickname that you were given, and is there an identity to that nickname? Are you daddy or mommy's little girl? Like, who are you? Like, what does that mean? Who are you really? And what does that mean when you were little? And what does that mean when you're here right now at whatever age you're at? And the question I often ask people is, what did you want to be when you were little? What did you want to be when you grow up? Some people can't remember the first time or first thing that they ever wanted to be when they grew up. I remember that I wanted to be a hairdresser. I wanted to be a hairdresser so badly. And I can still remember my family groaning and thinking I was crazy. But I knew that I wanted to be a hairdresser because hairdressers were people who sat there and they listened to you talk about your challenges. They listened to you talk about your problems, and they helped people with them. They really genuinely helped people with them. And so I think back on those times and I think about what that meant to me. And nothing has truly changed in my life purpose.
Please welcome Farzana Jaffer Jarraj.